right. Whoa, that's what Georgia has us in, a stranglehold, baby. Stranglehold. Terrorism too, baby. All right. 12/8/2020. Lockdown 2020 and selection 2020 is what they should be calling it. But anyway, guys, let's see, December 21st, but it'll be visible on the 16th. That's when Jupiter and Saturn are going to align, and it's going to create the Christmas star, which hasn't been seen since 1226. So maybe there might be some divine intervention hanging in the balance. But anyway, that's to be determined. Now, at the time where Americans the world is struggling with this pandemic, or plandemic is what I like to call it, the fight between good and evil is right there in your face, and that's what this is all about. Trump's the only one to go after the child pedophile ring, and that ought to tell you something right there. It is enormous. It is in every government. It is in the Vatican. It is everywhere. And anybody who wants to take advantage of children, well, they need to be dealt with accordingly. Gitmo and maybe a little worse, but that's another story. But how appropriate is it that the Christmas star is coming back to us when probably we need more than ever some little divine intervention? That's the 21st one that's going to peak, but you'll be able to see it on the 16th through the 21st. It'll be kind of like a reflection, kind of a Bethlehem star, so to speak. But while evil is running rampant throughout our country and throughout the election process, it is a very great time to have a little divine intervention, I would think. Let's see what else we got. The wide ranging side effects for this COVID thing. It's going to have opiate addiction. It's going to be suicide rate. It's going to be depression. You're going to have more probably violent encounters with married people because they're trapped together for so long. Um, it, it, it's worse than the virus itself. It is actually worse than the virus itself. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, so now the media's denial of the election. This is important. There it is starting to trickle in. ABC tonight even made me laugh. They did a report where they were showing where Trump lost one of his cases in lower court. Well, they made it such a big deal, but these people, I know they're not this dumb, so they're being told what to say, but they cannot be this stupid to think that this ain't going to the Supreme Court. I mean, that's the whole process of the legal system, is to get it to the Supreme Court. But you notice their denial about the election fraud. You're noticing you haven't heard about Hunter's laptop. You haven't heard about Epstein case. You haven't heard about Janelle Maxwell. Um, I'm starting to think Bill Barr's been compromised, and I've seen pictures of him with people that could have compromised him a long time ago. So maybe Trump made a bad call there, but he didn't have anything to go with when he got there. He kind of was rocking the boat, so he had to kind of figure out who can take the ship to the next port, or however you want to phrase it. But anyway, but I know I really people need to realize something, that the 4 years that they tried to investigate him about Russia, all the elections are secure, is what Obama said in 2015. Nothing can happen. 2016, Trump beats Hillary. All the Russians had to collude. 2020, before we got going on now, they knew that they were in trouble at 10 o'clock on November 3rd when some of the polls started coming in. They said, holy shit, these people showed up to vote. We don't have enough. We got to start printing. We got to do anything possible, which is an act of war in my book, and it should be treated as such. Now, let's see. Where are we at? All right. Republicans, Georgia, I'm calling you out. You are a bunch of panty ass rhino wearing. Oh, you're really testing me. You guys need to step up, ask for joint session of General Assembly, but you need to step up as a Republican because you are being exposed right now, whether you know it or not. And if we do win the election and you're sitting on your hands like most of you are right now, bam, you're swamp material. That means you're a target for the next administration and a target for all American deplorables. Now, I don't want to hear all this crap about I'm scared to come forward because of Antifa is going to key my car and we're going to have a Black Lives Matter. Let me help you out with something. Fort Benning is really close. They can deploy. I'm sure they're on standby. If I know my president, I'm sure they're on standby. But anyway, they could have Apache helicopters with thermal imaging, and they could come in within 50s. They can come in. Trust me, Black Lives and Antifa ain't gonna want none of that. So put your mind to rest and do what's right for the country because you do not want to go down on the wrong side of history because you could be the state that cost America its freedom. You could be the state. Georgia, you bunch of. I really, the burning of Atlanta was bad. If you let this election thing go, it's going to be worse than that. Trust me. Now I'm calling out Kemp. I'm calling out Duncan. I'm calling out Raffensperger. You better worry about the deplorables instead of worrying about Black Lives Matter and Antifa. We're not going to let anything happen. But if you keep sitting on your hands, that means you're part of the enemy, and that means you're fair game. But you do not. I'm going to tell you right now, all the deplorables in this country should scare you more than any George Soros activated group, because we're not paid. We're doing it for the love of the country. We're doing it because courageous, I think I say it real backwards. All that courage is contagious. And the future is now. Our children, I got 3 daughters. We've got to save this for them, not for us. This is not for us. This is for the next generation. But they're going to get a hold of education. They're going to get a hold of everything. They're going to be so far up your ass, especially when they vaccinate you with something that's going to make you sterile. And that's another story and all that. But, Christopher Wray, he needs to, he's got, FBI, DOJ, don't say squat. They're not doing nothing. But anyway, call your representatives in your state. Do not let this go down like this. You can be part of history. You can be in the history books for later. One way or the other, you're going to be in the history books. But I'd rather be on the right side of history. And with the thing about the star, the 21st, God works in mysterious ways, and hopefully he's working for America. God bless you and have a great evening.